this is Gary with Cubase Academy. Thanks for checking out the video. This video, I'm going to be working with Sonarworks Reference 4. This is not a video about Sonarworks Reference 4. It's actually about using the software and any other software like it in the context of Cubase and especially the control room. So let me tell you what I like about working with Sonarworks Reference 4 by starting here. I am going to play a track and then you'll see the levels in the background here. And you'll see that on my main out channel, I have the analyzer and Sonarworks. If we take a look at the configuration of Sonarworks, we can see that it's set up to be equalized or corrected for my Shure 1840 headphones. So this was a predefined curve based on the Shure 1840s. And I also have some other curves set up. I have a curve set up for my JBLs, and I have a curve set up for my PVs. And as you can see, they're all very different curves. Okay. Additionally, I have a predefined speaker target curve set for my PVs because they're midfields, they're loud, and they're kind of far away. So I've got a little extra bass curve put in them. And irrelevant. What I'm trying to show you is, with Sonarworks, I have tuned my speakers for my room, and that's what the software is for. However, this means that as I'm working in Cubase, if I want to listen to my headphones, I have to come in here and I have to switch the profile. Put my headphones on, listen to my mix, and if I decide I want to listen to my JBLs, or if I decide I want to listen to my PVs, there's an action that I have to take every time I want to switch listening devices, which is inconvenient when I have a speaker switching system that lets me quickly switch between speakers. Let me go back to the headphones here. And I'll demonstrate that this is having an effect on the actual mix output. So if I pull the volume down here, it's going to pull the volume of my mix down, right? And so I actually have safe headroom on here. So it's actually dropping my mix volume. You can see here the volume meters. If I turn this off, they're going to go up a bit. And the sound, the mix will change. The mix coming out of your main outs will change. You have to mute this or disable this. And you see it actually peaked my meters there. You have to disable it before you do your export. So I have a couple of times forgotten to disable it, done an export, listened to the mix and went, what's wrong? Oh, I forgot to turn off Sonarworks. Additionally, as I said, if I want to switch between headphones or speakers, it's a manual process for me to go do that. So I was thinking about the workflow and how to improve it, and I started taking a look at the control panel. So let's close this down. This is now disabled. This is the one in the master bus. Here's the control panel. Okay, I have mine locked into this view, but you can also open the control panel using Studio Control Room. I think I've been using the wrong terminology. It's the control room. So the control room is your central hub for all of your inputs and outputs into Cubase. Now, if we just, on the main tab of the control room, we have several things. You'll see Q1, Q2. This is my setup, okay? And monitors. I have 3 monitors set up. My JBLs, my mix cubes, and my PVs. And I have headphones set up. And I have a main mix, okay? So let me just show you F4 or studio audio connections, same thing. F4 is where you set all this up, and if you look here, I have 1, 2, 3 monitor setups. This little icon means monitors, okay? And you can see they're mapped to my outputs. So I'm using a Steinberg interface. Output 1, 2, left, right is going to my first pair of speakers, my second pair of speakers, and my third pair of speakers. So that's all there is to it. Comes out of the interface into those speakers or amps or whatever else you have going on. I have one more set up for my phones. Output mix 4 is going to my headphones, okay? And I've got a couple of other things coming out of 9, 10, 11, and 12 that are going to Q1 and Q2. That's for recording purposes. So everything you set up here in the control panel is reflected here. So you can see that I have monitors ABC set up. And down here I have switches ABC, which actually let me switch between first set of, second set of, and third set of speakers very easily. I also have a quick preset for stereo and mono down mix. So that's all set up in the control panel. Why is that important? Besides the general usage of Cubase, and this is only in Pro, by the way. So if you don't have Cubase Pro, I'm currently operating 10.5.12, I think. But it works in several versions back of Cubase Pro. Anyway, I'm going to go down here and click to the Inserts tab. And now you can see that I have monitors, and at the very last Insert tab on monitors, I have Sonarworks inserted. And if we take a look at that, it's set up for my A speakers, my JBLs. So I'm going to leave that there. If I go to my B speakers, I don't have anything set up there. Okay, but you see there's audio going to them, but you probably can't hear it because I've switched outputs. I don't need Sonarworks on my mixed cubes, but let's look at my C speakers. And there's Sonarworks again. So let's look at the configuration there. This configuration is set up for my PVs. So now I don't have to switch configurations. I don't have to go into Sonarworks and switch. It's set up. Now, yes, I have to run 2 instances of Sonarworks. Not really a big deal. When I go to A, I'm using, and you can see here the signal started here. I'm feeding through my A speakers, and it's set up for my A speakers. I'll switch it down here. I'm feeding through my C speakers, and this is the curve for my C speakers. Now, because I also have my headphones on a separate output going to a headphone amp, let's look at the phones. I have it set up here too. What is the profile here? It is the Shure profile. So if I turn this on, now I'm listening to my headphones through this profile designed for my headphones. So I don't, yes, I'm running 3 instances of Sonarworks, but it's not really a big deal. I haven't really run into any issues, but the ease of which I can now switch between my profiled listening devices is worth the hit. If you don't have your monitor set up in the control room, you can put it on the main insert. So if you go to your main insert, you can put it down here, but whatever you put in here is going to affect any of your outputs. Okay, so if you can set up your monitors in the control room in F4, that's your better option. Again, this is not a review of Sonarworks, although I have found it extremely useful once I got my room treated as best I could, and then kind of took the rest of it a step further with Sonarworks. It was a big help. And now I have this set up in Cubase to make my workflow faster without having to switch profiles and without having to remember to turn it off in the mix bus because it's not running in the mix bus, right? And again, I can prove this because, okay, it's not running in the mix bus here. We're listening to my headphones. I can kill this, and it has no effect on my main outs. You can see my mix out is the same volume. You can see here the PAS analyzer is still running. No effect whatsoever. This is only affecting the output going directly to my headphones according to my setup. Okay. Bit of a mixed bag here, but I hope you found it helpful. If you're running Sonarworks or any other software that corrects your room or affects your outputs in any way, it's extremely useful. These inputs, these inserts are very useful. In fact, I'll show you one more instance. On my cue, I have a brick wall limiter. So if someone's cranking up their instrument or yelling into a microphone, I've got a brick wall limiter in my cue send, so to avoid damaging ears and such. Okay, great. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope it wasn't too long of a video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions about what I did here today, please feel free to ask, and I'll talk to you next time.